What if I told you the comfort zone you're clinging to is the very thing quietly destroying your destiny? You think it's protection, but it's actually a trap, a carefully disguised cage that God Himself is preparing to shatter, whether you're ready or not. You were never created to settle. You were created to stretch, to soar, and comfort zones are the hidden enemies of every calling God has placed on your life. When Abraham was called in Genesis 12, he wasn't given a map. He was told to leave his country, his family, his father's house, and walk blindly into a promise he couldn't see yet. Few people realize that if Abraham had stayed, history would have never remembered his name. God is not interested in your safety when it compromises your purpose. He will strip away jobs, relationships, titles, even homes, if they have lulled you into spiritual sleep. Deuteronomy 1:6 contains a chilling warning. You have stayed long enough at this mountain, meaning what once was your miracle can secretly become your prison if you refuse to move when God says move. Your comfort zone has an expiration date, and when you overstay, you invite decline, decay, and defeat into areas you were meant to dominate. Few people talk about how terrifying it is to obey God when every logical voice in your head screams, "Stay where it's safe." But the ones who change history are the ones who dare to move at the sound of His whisper. Comfort zones often wear the mask of wisdom, but godly wisdom never contradicts divine instruction. And if you're waiting for it to feel right, you'll be waiting forever. Moses had to leave the prestige of Pharaoh's palace. Elijah had to confront the terror of Jezebel. Esther had to risk death to walk into destiny. And every one of them had to confront the temptation to stay hidden. God is far more concerned with your obedience than your comfort, and sometimes He will deliberately allow frustration, failure, or even betrayal to push you out of what you should have left long ago. Romans 8:28 promises that all things work together for good, but that doesn't mean all things feel good. Sometimes God uses disruption as divine deliverance. Hidden inside the pain you're avoiding is the promotion you've been praying for, and until you are willing to step into the unknown, you are secretly saying you trust your comfort more than you trust your Creator. Revelation 3:16 is a sobering reminder that lukewarmness, staying halfway between obedience and comfort, makes God sick. You cannot conquer what you are too comfortable to confront. Jonah found out the hard way that running toward comfort puts you directly into a storm designed by God to reroute your disobedience. Some storms in your life are not attacks. They are alarms, mercy alarms, warning you that you've stayed too long where you were only meant to pass through. The disciples had to leave the certainty of their fishing boats to become fishers of men, and if they hadn't, we wouldn't even know their names. Safety was never the goal. Surrender was. Comfort zones are where callings go to die quietly. There is a shocking cost to staying comfortable: missed miracles, delayed destiny, wasted years. God is not interested in negotiating with your fears. He is interested in developing your faith. Hebrews 11 is a hall of fame for those who left everything familiar because they believed the invisible was more real than the tangible. If you're wondering why everything around you feels tight, uncomfortable, almost unbearable, it could be because God is preparing to launch you. But launching requires leaving. A seed must break before it bears fruit, and likewise, your old identity must break before your true destiny can bloom. Staying safe keeps you small. Staying hidden keeps you hungry, but never full. God will force you to leave the places you've made idols out of, and if you refuse to leave willingly, He will shake the very ground under your feet until staying becomes more painful than going. It is a terrifying mercy to be forced out of comfort and into calling. The dangerous comfort zones you secretly idolize today will be the regrets you mourn tomorrow if you don't respond. Fear is the greatest false prophet you will ever face, and it always preaches the gospel of comfort over the gospel of Christ. Your future is not found in the familiar. It's found in the faith it takes to step into the unknown. If you are serious about fulfilling your God-given destiny, you must make peace with the discomfort of divine disruption. You must embrace the holy unknown. You must walk away from what is easy and step boldly into what is eternal. Choose today to move when God says move, even if your knees are shaking, even if your voice trembles, because delayed obedience is still disobedience. Refuse to die in the place you were only meant to pass through. Refuse to let fear shrink your future. Refuse to let comfort become your coffin. Your calling is too costly, your purpose too powerful, your God too great for you to stay safe another day. Leave the comfort zone. Walk into the wild faith of your future. Your comfort zone is costing you more than you know. Don't let it bury your calling. If this shook you awake, subscribe, like, and share it with someone who refuses to die in a safe place. Your next level starts now.